All that stuff is about going against the monarchy, and now they want to tweet their condolences. Like, no,
You think they're faking the funk? That you think they just want part of the whole sympathy of the time?
Oh, for sure. The Rock did. Did you see his tweet?
Nuh-uh.
The Rock. Did you see that? That was the funniest thing ever. The Rock said something about how, my condolences to England and the Queen and this, that, and the other. Make sure you watch Black Adam in theaters.
Really?
Yeah. So you're gonna hop in on trends. It's like The Rock did that shit just so that he could promote a shitty Marvel, not even Marvel, a shitty DC movie.
What is up, everybody? Thank you for checking out the Pat Out of Hell podcast in the brand new studios.
Do you have a name for the studios?
No, man. I was thinking about calling it the Babacoa Core Studios.
Okay.
Right now, I just call it the studio.
The studio.
Yeah, I'm really I like naming stuff, but I also change names all the time.
Oh, okay. You can't settle on one.
Yeah, so I don't want to call this something and then change something else. I mean, I don't know if you know this, but this is my fifth podcast that I've created.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, man. I started out with the Babacoa Core because, just chopping it up, chewing the fat. And then I decided to go off of that, call the network or whatever I do, Babacoa Core Network. And then I did X Lives, which didn't catch on. People didn't get the idea of it.
X Lives?
Yeah, what I want to do, because before I got into comedy, I was doing 2 decades of pursuing being a musician, drummer, whatever.
Okay.
So I thought it would be interesting to tell other people's stories. What were you pursuing before you got into comedy? What was your past life?
X Lives.
X Lives.
Okay. That makes sense now. I get it.
And so that was flowing for a little bit, and then I had a guest come on, and I tried to explain the whole concept. This is what we're going to talk about. This is what we're going to do. And it came time to go okay, so before you got into comedy, what were you pursuing? And they straight up go, I don't know. I was like, cool, man. Thanks for coming on and all that stuff.
Yeah. Thanks for wasting 15 seconds of my life.
Yeah. I mean, it was still cool, but it's so hard to come up with a concept and ask people to fuck with it, Because I think I told you what this one is, right?
Yeah, it's more of a ranting kind of thing, right?
Yeah. I mean, we'll get that. Low key is just working on bits.
Okay.
But we'll get into that in a bit. But yeah, so I have a hard time. I don't know how people name kids. Do you have kids?
I do not know.
Not that you know of?
Nah, no. No.
So, I don't know how people name their kids and, they have to keep that name, for the rest of their lives and shit. That's a whole thing. So, long answer, no, I don't have a name for the studio.
Yeah. So bring it all back to my last point. No.
Yeah. But, yeah, thanks for coming on, man. I think you're the first guest in the new studio.
Hey,
Yeah. Also in the studio off camera, we got Daniel Velasquez.
Danny V.
Hanging out. I got to get him on the pod for sure. For sure, you got to do the Duder Man Homie Bro, but for sure, I'll bring you on the Pat Out of Hell.
Oh, so yeah, I wanted to ask you, am I good to laugh if I hear something?
Oh, yeah, you're here.
You wanted me to
Yeah. Even if you could fake laugh, that would be awesome.
Yeah.
We'll take fake laughter, pity laughs, claps. If you want to start the wave, yeah, you're welcome to. Yeah, you're here. You're in the building. But cool, man. So before we get started, plugs. Again, I'm going to try to put this out on Thursday.
Okay.
So yeah, anything you got coming up Thursday going on? How can people find you? What's all the good stuff?
Let me do it right now?
Yeah.
Oh,
go
okay,
ahead
cool.
and plug.
So if this is going to be out Thursday, Friday, Feed the Funny at Blind Tiger Comedy Club. Me and my brother are going to take that over for Josh Cabaza for the week. So it's going to be nice. It's going to be a fun show. After that, was it the 17th? I have Artisan.
Okay.
I'll be out there at the Artisan. At the 7 o'clock and the 9 o'clock show. Those are $7 tickets at the door. And then after that, the 23rd with Scott at the Black Potion, 1900 Fredericksburg.
Okay.
The Puro Mierda Comedy Show. It's going to be me. I mean, I'm hosting it. It's going to be Scott, Brendan Potter, Josh Cabaza, Paul Cyphers, Jeevan Subramanian, and I think that's it. And Jeremy Brown. Can't forget Jeremy Brown. That one's going to be a fun show, so that one's going to be dope.
Yeah, man.
And those tickets on Eventbrite, $10 tickets, $15 at the door if you can't make it online. But yeah, that one, Eventbrite, the Puro Mierda Comedy Show.
Yeah. And social media, how can people find you? All that good stuff?
Myself, Fat Jumpman on Instagram. And I wanted to change it when I first, because I got that back in 2015, speaking of not being on name things.
Yeah.
And then I realized that Instagram and Facebook were the exact same shit, so I
Yeah.
just deleted my Instagram. But then when I started doing comedy again, I had to bring my Instagram back. And so I started a new one and had 0 followers. So anytime I would tell a comic to follow me, it looked like a fake page. Like it didn't look like a good pit. I don't know, whatever. So then I went back. I found that account was still active and had 400 followers. And I was like, I'm just going to kick back that one.
Yeah.
And then Fat Jump Man, I just kind of picked it back up. And then I was going to change it, but then Zach told me, Dixon, he's like, dude, that's awesome. Keep it.
Nah, that's a funny one. Yeah.
Yeah, so I was like, okay.
It's a lot better than like name comedy.
That's what I was trying to do. I was going to do that. George Rosales.
No offense to you. Do you do that, Daniel?
I do not do that at all.
Oh no, it's
No,
Vintage, Daniel. Look
yeah.
up Vintage Daniel on Instagram.
Fat Gentleman on Instagram.
Yeah.
And then that's really the only time I put anything in my comedy stuff.
Yeah, that's something that bugs me. Like, especially when they're brand new at it, they're like, okay, well, this is what I'm doing now, so I am so and so comedian.
Nick does that.
Oh no offense.
No, all the offense.
Yeah.
All of it.
And then your podcast. What's your podcast?
Oh, yeah. Almost.
Speaking of Nick,
I can't believe I forgot about my freaking podcast.
You're bad at promoting yourself, dude.
Terrible. You know what it is? It's because I have a very bad memory. Like, my memory is shit.
Nah, yeah.
That's my fault for smoking a lot of weed all these years. But yeah, on SoundCloud and Spotify, Rosales Radio. It's radio. It's a podcast I do with my brother, Nick Rosales, at Nick Does Comedy, and his lame-ass Instagram name.
The one that I just talked about.
Yeah, and then my cousin, Matt, who is our producer at Illest Noise, at Rosales Radio on Instagram, too. And that one's, we're getting better.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got to stop saying the N-word, but we're getting better.
I mean, if that's that's what you do. I mean,
The way we justify it, to be honest with you, the way we justify it is that we, every time we say the N-word, we're not talking about anybody black.
Yeah.
So we feel like it's cool.
No, I get that.
I guess.
Yeah.
That's the only way we could justify it.
But it's funny because I do listen. I do listen to the podcast.
thank
Well,
you.
now that you're on Spotify, I don't really mess with SoundCloud. But yeah, it's so funny how like you will drop the N-word and then you'll also say any hooser. Like who?
What a wide variety of vocabulary.
Who's gangster enough to like go with the N-word, the nice one, not in anger or nothing like that. You know, the cool way, the fun way, but also say so any hooser. I was like,
I'll tell you, bro, it's a weird dynamic, but yeah.
Nah, that's cool, man.
No, and it's fun. I mean, we try to get better. Trust me, we've heard it from multiple people that tell us that.
Yeah.
Because we have a buddy of mine that listens to it at his work, but he listens to it out loud. Which, why?
Yeah.
He's gotten in trouble twice for listening to it out loud. Stop. Servando, if you're watching this, stop. Please.
Yeah.
Please, don't do this to yourself. Don't get fired over us.
Does it make you nervous when you find out people listen? Like, I mean, obviously you do it because you want people to listen, but when people actually, like, quote you, things that you said on a podcast, or tell you that they listen?
It depends who listens. Because, like, there was this girl at work. She's hot, like, insanely hot.
Yeah.
And
what's her name? What's her Instagram?
Her name is Catalina. I think her Instagram's at Cat Smith.
I'm just kidding.
I was like, I don't mind.
I'm not editing it. You know.
Yeah, no, please don't. Her
fine.
husband's a piece
Shout
of
out.
shit. Yeah.
Shout out. Oh, her husband's
Everybody,
a piece of
no,
shit.
well, he's a nice guy. I just want to fuck her. So everybody bombard her with bad comments. Tell her that her husband's cheating on her. And that George Rosales will never treat you like that. Let her know.
Yeah, it's like you're vote for me.
Yeah.
For her next husband.
This is a campaign right here, yo. And she's really sweet, which is terrible because she's a nice lady.
Yeah.
But she told me she saw my screensaver, which my screensaver is our podcast logo.
Yeah.
And she goes, "What's that?" And I was like, "Oh, it's our podcast." And she goes, "Oh my god, I have to listen to you guys." I'm like, "No, you do not," because she's sensitive kind of girls. It's like those kind that real what's the word I'm looking for? Like woke.
Yeah.
So she's over here like feminism this and don't
which
say
is
this.
fine.
Yeah,
which
whatever.
Is fine.
But that's not our audience. That's not our audience.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So she's like, so I would worry that she would be the kind of person that would say something to somebody at work, maybe.
Okay. Yeah.
I don't think we can get fired for what we do on our podcast at work. I hope not.
I mean, I would hope not. And that's funny. Like I was talking about that. I was trying to work something out on stage with that. You know, like with coworkers, and they don't know that I do this. You know, I don't use my last name. You know, they can't really Google me. There's a few people, but anyway. But like, it's weird when you find out like in-laws listen to the podcast.
Yeah. My uncles listen to. You know who listens to it? Weirdly enough, my 9-year-old niece.
Yeah.
And she's been on an episode. Her name is Mia.
Really?
And we didn't know she was listening to for the longest time until our cousin, her uncle, which is our cousin that's our producer on there, he told us about it. And ever since then, we started shouting her out or like saying, like every time we say some stupid shit, like what was it? We're asking for $1 because we were trying to get cameos for people to like sponsor the podcast. And instead of like getting Snoop Dogg to be like, hey, listen to Rosales Radio. So we're trying to collect money. And that's why I said, everybody that listens, send us $1. Mia, crack your fucking piggy bank.
Yeah.
Send us all the money you have. Like, we're trying to get out here.
Yeah.
And her grandpa heard us, like, because I don't know if I should say this on there.
No,
But like, no, I don't mind it because like I don't know how far we could go on this.
Yeah.
But like I was messing with her one time. We were talking about fat pussies.
With your 9-year-old niece?
No. We're talking about fat pussies and same thing. I knew she was listening.
That she was
so
listening.
I saw her Mia. I was like, wash your fat pussy. Like just messing around.
Oh man.
I know. I was kidding. I thought it was, but then her grandpa, which is my uncle, heard it and he was like, stop talking about Mia on your podcast.
Yeah, dude.
Which I'm sorry, but I just thought it was funny, and I don't know. And then Nikki and Matt try to stop me, and then that's a child in me where they'd like, dude, come on. I'm like I'm trying to be funny, so I'm just gonna keep pushing it.
Yeah, it's tough because you want to like push the boundaries.
Yeah.
Because you're trying to make a joke out of it. Yeah.
She knows I don't mean that.
And you don't know if it's a bad thing until after it comes out, until everybody makes that response and like, you shouldn't do that. Oh, well, now I know.
Yeah. I know Nick and Matt, when they laugh, so once they laugh, I feel like, okay, fuck it, I'm going for it. But at the same time, they're laughing like, dude, like, stop. And
yeah. And that's what makes a joke. If somebody else laughs at it, then it's a joke.
I go by that rule with my mom because she was, ever since growing up, too, that's always been me. Like, if I can get Nikki to start laughing, that's it. I'm going to just keep going.
Yeah.
But I know if I can get her to start laughing, that's it. Like, I'm going to keep going until it's over.
No, that's rad. Yeah. Like, my nephew found out that I have the channel, and it freaks me out because like we talk about especially with Scott, and well, all three of us, we say shit that my niece and nephew shouldn't hear. So the fact that they know it, I was like, well, don't listen to it. Like, we don't listen to it. I was like,
we just know you got it.
Yeah, which I'm kind of like, I don't believe them. But also what they do, like, they're like, oh, well, how many subscribers? Because they're on YouTube all the time.
Oh, okay.
And so they have like all these fans that they follow, people they follow on YouTube that have millions of subscribers.
Yeah.
And so they're asking like, well, how many subscribers do you have? And I was like 100. And they're like, man, that's nothing. Like, I was like, oh, man, why don't you subscribe then?
Yeah, right. Help a brother out.
If you're on there, click the button.
You got to start doing mukbang videos and stuff, start eating shit.
Yeah, dude. Like playing with Legos and stuff. Like
Unboxing, bro. Unboxing is where it's going to be at.
It's so wild what kids watch.
Oh,
and all
yeah,
that
I know.
stuff.
It's ridiculous.
But anyway, so which reminds me, like, subscribe, all that stuff, Spotify, YouTube, all that good stuff.
Get them to 103, everybody.
Yeah, 103 at least.
Let's get it.
Let's make it real, you know?
Let's see it on the screen.
Yeah.
Let's make it,
So cool, man. Like, I've seen you in the scene a while. We haven't really like got to sit down and hang out and stuff. So I really don't know like your the history, how you got into comedy and stuff. So let's get into that, man. Like, how'd you? Well, this is like your comeback, right? Like you were in comedy for a while. You took a little break, and then you got back into it. And I think that's when we met.
Yeah. So this is my second go around.
The beginning. When did you start, and how long were you doing it before you took that break?
So right now I'm 30. So I started at 23. Long time ago. And honestly, I've always wanted to do it. Since I was a kid, I always like listened to George Lopez and Carlos Mencia and like all those like. Oddly enough, the first special I ever listened to was Bill Engvall. Here's Your Sign, and I didn't know that's what that was, but I would listen to it with my aunt and like over and over again, and I would to the point where I memorized the jokes, and then I would go to school and just tell those jokes there at school, and I just liked it. I always liked that feeling. But I never was a big pussy about going on stage, like everybody, until they get their first try. And then on my cousin's birthday, he's the one that's like, for my birthday, all I want is for you to go to LOL, do a 5-minute set.
Your cousin from the podcast?
No, his brother actually. His little brother.
Oh, okay.
Was the one that told me, he goes, just 5 minutes. He goes, that's all I ask. He goes, and then you never have to do it again. And I'm like, cool. And I went up. I got my first genuine laugh from people I didn't know. And that was it. I was hooked for like a good couple years. And then, like, I was same thing, just going open mics. I really wasn't, like, I was always stuck to myself. I was a shy person. So I stick to myself. So I really wouldn't talk to anybody. But then I got lucky. I got enough to do a show at the Tobin Center. It's funny.
At the Tobin Center?
Well, there's a little stage on the side of it. There's a little smaller stage.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
Yeah,
I was like, fuck, you did the Tobin?
Not the big Tobin, the little Tobin. There's a little one on the side.
Oh, okay.
It was weird how I got that show, too, because...
How big? Like, how many seats do you think?
400.
That's still big.
No, it was crazy. And it sold out, too.
Yeah, damn.
Yeah, and I actually, so, hold on. So, it's weird enough how I got that show because I was in the bathroom at work. And I'm taking a piss, and like the door opens, somebody comes in, and and like I look back, and it's some guy, and he's just like staring at me. So I have my hand, like my dick in my hand, and
Yeah.
and he's just like walks by me like that, and I'm like, okay, what the fuck? So I'm washing my hands, and I go back out to go like to the restaurant where I'm working because I'm at work right now. And I go and I'm like at the restaurant by the hostess stand. I'm talking to the girls. I'm like, those are the weirdest things. This guy just came in, stared at me weirdly, da da da. So that same guy walks past the hostess stand and still like looked at me and he's like kept looking at me. So I'm like, am I about to fucking fight at work? Like what's happening right now? Then he comes up to me and he's like, are you an actor or like a poet or music? Like, do you do? I'm like, I mean, I'm doing comedy.
Oh,
and he's
okay.
like, oh, cool. He goes, well, I have this show at the Tobin Center called Alamo Vaudeville. He goes, I'm looking for acts. He goes, are you performing anytime soon that I can go see you? And I was like, yeah. Well, this is that I was doing open mics heavily at LOL. So I was like, yeah, I'm actually at LOL, blah, blah, blah. So he went out, saw me do my thing at LOL, loved it, and also got Kabaza to do the first one.
Okay.
So me and Kabaza were there. Same thing. I've never said 2 words to Kabaza. Even then, like I think I just said because there was some older ladies.
But
there.
wait. So, I mean, what got him to like
I
start
don't know.
looking at you like that?
I never know. He
Oh,
just
okay.
looked at me. That's what I'm saying. He just like looked at me weird, and I was like, "What the fuck?" He just asked me. He goes, "Do you do like anything?"
Y'all just had like in the men's room. Y'all just had that spark,
just that,
and
just
he
that
just
one
couldn't
connection.
get.
As soon as I grabbed his dick, I think he knew I was
Yeah,
special.
there you go. That's what I was trying to get to. Okay.
Oh, so we're confessing shit now. All right. This is what this is.
Yeah. So I jerked him off, right? And then like,
You're uniquely fat.
Yeah, and he enjoyed it. And he's like, this guy's got to be doing something. Yeah. He's not just working in a restaurant. He's got to be doing something else.
yeah.
So what do you call it? I didn't even think about that, you fucking cocksucker. That's hilarious. So what do you call it? So then I did that show 2 years in a row, and then I did it the third year, and well, I was supposed to do it the third year, but then I don't know if it was me or what, but I got some sort of like, I guess I want to call it ego. In a sense, because like I stopped showing up to the rehearsals and stuff because I never did anything. And they never saw my set until the day of the show, so I never did perform or anything. I just kind of just hung out and listened to the bands and stuff that was there, which is pretty cool. But sometimes I was like, I don't want to go, whatever. So I got to the point where he kicked me off the show, and he kicked me off. And after that, I got kind of depressed and just kind of like, well, I don't fuck this. I don't want to do this anymore. Then da da da. So I stopped doing stand up for a long time, for like 3 years.
Yeah.
And then the pandemic hit. And Menno said, and it's funny because in those times between, I would go back to an open mic, but I would miss my turn because I would go back late or something like that. And I'd be like, oh, well, fuck it, I guess I just, don't want to do this again, da-da-da. And then eventually, once the pandemic came back, Nikki wanted to go back. Or Nikki wanted to do it. So I went with him. And, yeah, ever since then, we just kind of kicked off. And then he's been doing it for over a year now. We've met Daniel. We've met a bunch of cool people, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, just kind of now just getting into it a lot more and enjoying ourselves. And
Is it tough to be a comic with your brother? Like, is there competition with you?
it's unspoken, but yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
especially because you have like 2 years or something, like more time
Experience,
put
yeah.
into it.
Yeah,
And then he's out there.
And he would watch me. He would come to the open mics with me and just watch me do our thing.
Yeah.
He always like wanted to go. He always wanted to write for me at the beginning.
Uh-huh.
And I'd say like, no. I was like, if you have jokes, dude, get on stage. And
He never wanted to get on stage
never
before?
wanted to get on stage. He was scared shitless. Same
Yeah.
thing is like, I don't know if I could talk in front of people. I couldn't do it in school, so why would I do it here? And then But then same thing is like after during the pandemic, we would see like, you never know.
Yeah.
If you ever get a chance to get on stage, so like, why not just try it?
Mm-hmm.
So the first open mic we went to, I did 4 minutes that I've done like back in the day, and it was good. And I got seen by Duck,
Mm-hmm.
and then he gave me my first like headlining spot maybe a month after that
Mm-hmm.
at Tequila's. And then same thing, he saw Nikki and he's like, "Do you want to do 10 minutes?" There, so the third time Nikki ever did stand up was at Tequila's, and he did 10 minutes.
Damn.
Yeah, and same thing, he did okay, but I mean, same thing. It's like a lot of jokes that he just
He did okay.
he did all right, whatever. But yeah, no, I mean, with us, I think it's honestly better because now that I have some, like before, like I said, we're both very closed off people. Like we don't really like until we get comfortable.
Yeah.
So like it's good to have somebody that I could talk to. Like it's just me and him.
Mm-hmm.
So if it was just me and him and nobody else to talk to us, cool. We'd smoke a blunt together, just bullshit. Our cousins would come out and we would just bullshit with them and whatever.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But then little by little, we started getting integrated into the community a lot more. Whoever who was really pivotal into getting us into this was, or at least getting us more into the community was Big Clay.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, rest in peace. It was so like
He was a good dude, man.
Really
He was a
good dude.
dude,
It's
yeah.
2 weeks before we were before he passed. me and Nikki were smoking a blunt like by the elevator at LOL. Just us two. We're just then. He comes by us. He goes, "The fuck y'all doing here?" He goes, "Everybody's smoking over there at the little smoking area." He goes, "Let's go, man. I got a blunt too. Let's go, man." We went over there and we just started kind of bullshitting with people and then it's crazy because that next week or the 2 weeks later. We had a blunt ready to go take with us to go smoke with him, and then we'd heard of his passing and shit like that. And we were like, "Fuck, dude, that's crazy."
Yeah.
But after that, same thing. So we just started smoking around, hanging around there, and more in the smoking area, and just kind of got integrated with people. We met Daniel, and now I feel like we're cool with everybody. We seem to be cool with everybody. I mean, I haven't met anybody that hates us, but
yeah. Well, they will.
Yeah.
Give it time.
Yeah. It's still early.
Yeah. And then, so you and him, y'all started the PMC, or did you already have that before?
No, that was we did that. Well, I did that. We did that together. I'm more of the like, I pushed for it more. When we first started because like he liked the idea of us having our little thing like that, but he was never like, "Oh yeah, dude, fuck yeah, PMC, bro." Like, blah, blah. That was all me. Like that was like putting our PMC on the pictures, even though we haven't done really anything. Yeah. Until we finally got a chance to book our own shit, get our podcast going, and kind of make it more of a thing for ourselves. Now he's all about it. Now he's like, "Fuck yeah, do PMC and all that shit."
And so you do that more like to like kind of like validate what you're doing, or kind of like.
No, I saw a lot of, I saw a lot, like when I first coming into the scene, I saw a lot of people had their like cliques and stuff like that. And I think there was a lot of comics, a lot of underrated talent that was just out there. You know what I mean? Like Jeevan Subramanian. We saw him a couple times before when we first started. We wanted him to be the first guy to join us. We're like, "Dude, you're funny as shit. We love for you to, this little clique of, I guess young people are just trying to like build, build their own shit and just try to get better together." But then he told us no. He hot-girled us.
He told you no?
Well, not that he told us no, but he's like, "You know what, guys?" He goes, "I would like to." He goes, "But," he's like, "I don't."
Don't say the N-word a lot.
Yeah. And I'm Indian, so that might not look good. But he would like he's like, I mean, because that was still also like during the pandemic, kind of like mostly like when it was still kind of big. So he was like, "I don't want to go out too much because my parents still could get corona. I don't want to get them sick, this, that, and the other." So he's like, "I really don't want to, commit to anything like that." Yeah. So like, cool, dude, don't worry about it. And then as soon as we got our shit on at the Black Potion, all of a sudden, "Hey, dude, you guys, PMC?" And I'm like, "Yes, come on, we still want you, dude. Get in here." Yeah. And so now he's in with us too. But what do you call it? But no, so like, I think it's just not validate, but I guess just kind of, I don't know, give like a Land of Misfit Toys just a little home.
Yeah, I mean, because they have that. I mean, like, well, what is it? There's the Loud Pack.
Loud Pack Boys. There's Twisted Life. I know that's Mac and them. La Chingonas with.
There you go.
We all do their man, homie, bro, or
we're a podcast.
Y'all are your own clique.
Yeah.
y'all stick to.
Not really a gang. We're more of a affiliation.
I think that Jeremy Brown called us a gang, which was funny. He goes, "Are y'all like a gang now?" And we're like, "Yeah."
Well, yeah, it is. It is
we'll
gang-like.
Yeah, we'll take it. It too, like it helps us. Like I mean, like too, like whenever we would, like since Daniel was the first official like member to join us, whenever we would get shows, he would take us with him. We would bring him with us, and we'd be like, "Hey, can he get 10 minutes?" Yeah, sure. So it's like that. It's just like trying to help each other get time. If you have a question to write, same thing. Podcast. You want a podcast? We can help you with. We have our own shit. We're getting better equipment. Yeah. But once we get our better equipment, like if Daniel would want his own podcast, or G would want their own podcast, or Freddie, like we'd help them.
No, for sure.
Under the Rosales Radio Network, but it would be their, their shit.
Yeah.
And just like that, just give a platform to young people that really didn't, or young comics that really haven't gotten either overlooked or just not had any opportunities. Yeah. You know what I mean? And just try to give them opportunities.
And y'all recently got that, the Black Potion, is that like the residency? You got like a monthly
not yet.
show there?
We will. We have a monthly show there for sure. That the owner likes us a lot. We've oversold his bar a couple times already. The two times we have shows was the most he's
And that's a brand new spot, right? Like
3 months old.
Okay. And so y'all started the same time that they opened up?
No, they were 3 months old before us. So now they're going on their 6th month.
Okay.
Yeah, so we got in there when they were 3 months old. Okay. And then now this will be our 3rd show, so they'll be their 6th month open. And the House Party Improv have been there with them since the beginning. That's why they got weekly shows now. So that's why we have to share our day with them. Like the 23rd is our show, but we usually do it at 9, but we're pushing to 10:30 because they have their shit going on. Okay. But I think it's gonna help us in the long run because we'll be able to leech some of their fans or people that were there.
People that are already there.
Yeah, just stick
around for the stand-up.
Watch some real comedy, you know what I mean?
It's a real comedy.
Watch something that was taking time to be prepared and shit, not just fucking yelled at.
Any suggestions out there?
Yeah, anybody. But yeah, so that's gonna help us. Hopefully, I have to go talk to them and see if we can figure out a deal. But I'm trying to outrun them out.
Yeah.
Like, get the fuck out of here. This is all. Let it be. Put them into the comedy every week.
Yeah.
We could do that. I know we could pull that off
Well,
too.
you already sell more seats than they
That's what I'm saying. We've sold the owner told us because the first show we sold it's a 50-person theater. The first show we sold 65, and then the last show we did we sold 40. And the owner was telling me, he goes, those two shows have had more people than, like, not combined, but like any of their shows that they've ever had since the 3 months. They average like 25 people.
A 50-room theater is like perfect for comedy.
It is.
You don't want nothing too big, especially like if it's like a showcase type of show. You know, it's intimate. People will listen. You know.
Oh no, see, because that's one thing too is like we had opportunities to start like doing our shows in bars. Like there was this place downtown called the Flamingo Bar, where my dad knows the owner, and he wanted us to start doing shows out of there. And I went, and the stage was like right in the middle of the bar area, and there's a dance floor in front of it, so we'd have to put tables in front of the thing, all that shit. And I was like, that doesn't lend itself for comedy, and so I just didn't want to deal with that. You know what I mean? I've went to plenty of bar shows where it's like they're there to drink, they're not there to pay attention. It's hard to get people to even pay to come into a bar. You know what I mean? When they don't want to have nothing to do with a comedy show. You know what I'm saying? They just want to drink. So that's why this here. It's just like you said. It's perfect for it's a theater, little theaters like kind of seating, directly to the stage. It's low ceiling too, so the laughs bounce off. It's a good spot. That's what's the good thing is we didn't rush into anything. We just knew it kind of fell in our lap, thank God. But that's good. Like we were patient about it until we found something that was perfect for us, and it's a good spot. It's a really good room, and I can't wait for y'all to come and do it one day.
Yeah, man. I want to do the next show that you had, but I also have my Fantastic Damage that same night.
For
so
sure,
I was like, I can't do that one. But for sure, I want to check out that room and stuff. Cool. So the idea behind the Pat Out of Hell is that I like negativity.
I do too.
You know, I like
Preach to the choir.
I like talking shit. You know, all for fun. You know, I mean, I'm not trying to like burn. Well, yeah, sometimes burning bridges is fun, but I like to get other people's takes on what they don't like about the world, people, themselves, you know. So
I got plenty.
Yeah, man. What do you feel like ranting about? What do you want to get off your chest?
I mean, there's the only thing that especially being topical here is like the Queen dying.
Yeah.
Like it's annoying to me how many Americans are so affected by it. Why the fuck do we care?
I don't get it.
Why do we care?
Yeah.
Why does anybody care? That lady was a piece of shit. We had people take off of my work. They took bereavement because the Queen died.
Really?
Yes. Like, you're Mexican, bitch. Why are you upset that the Queen of England died?
Yeah.
That's ridiculous. Or even too like places like the White House put its thing at half mast. We left England for that reason, to not deal with this bullshit. Like, why do we care so much that the Queen
I don't
of
even know
England died?
like any of that information.
Well, it's just because I follow. I at work we have the news going on because I work at a coffee shop, so we have two little TVs in the back behind like us while we're working, but we have CNN going all the time, and like the same thing. They paraded the Queen around Scotland, which she's fucked that country so much in their 70 years of reign. Why are they out there crying for her in the streets?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Fucking pop a tire or something. Like, get her body out of there and throw it in the water.
Yeah.
Like, why are they so upset?
And it's not like, I mean,
dead?
she was 100 years old.
Yes.
You know, it wasn't like a free guy. It wasn't like Princess Diana. Like, the thing that happened with her, like, that was sad.
The thing that killed me are the memes. The memes are funny as shit.
Yeah, the Betty White.
Yeah, it's just gonna see her in hell and just fucking Princess Diana's gonna kick her ass, all this shit. But it's like that. It's just I don't understand how, like, or why. Not even how, but like why people gave a shit so much about it, especially here.
Yeah.
Like in San Antonio, Texas. Why the fuck do you care that the Queen of England died?
Yeah.
And or that's what I'm saying. Or even like that Hamilton and like all these musicals that were and Les Miserables, like all those musicals that were against the monarchy and the tyranny and all that. They're like, hey, we send our condolences to the Queen. No, that was the whole point. She's dead. Now you guys celebrate. Not trying to dance in the streets.
Yeah, dude.
All that stuff is about going against the monarchy, and now they want to tweet their condolences. Like, no.
You think they're faking the funk? That you think they just want part of the whole sympathy of the time?
Oh, for sure. The Rock did. Did you see his tweet?
Nuh-uh.
The Rock. Did you see that? That was the funniest thing ever. The Rock said something about how My condolences to England and the Queen and this, that, and the other. Make sure you watch Black Adam in theaters.
Really?
Yeah. So you're gonna hop in on trends. It's like The Rock did that shit just so that he could promote a shitty Marvel, not even Marvel, a shitty DC movie.
That's smart marketing though.
For sure, I'm gonna do that.
Yeah, dude.
Condolences to the Queen. Listen to Rosales Radio Spotify.
Hashtag save the Queen.
Yeah.
All that shit, you know?
And now, one thing though, I'm glad I see from this though is that because now that they have a new king over there, King Philip, I believe is.
Couldn't even tell you. I don't know
either.
who's next in line. I was like, are they gonna still continue with this whole monarchy
See, that's what I'm
shit?
saying. But people now are trying to no, what the fuck? Like, why is he king now? Get him the fuck out of there. Like now they want to start and getting their free. That's exactly what we fought for. 1776. Why did it take out till 2022 to finally realize it?
Yeah,
Right?
yeah.
That's fucking ridiculous. Just the Queen, just all of it, with all the Queen shit. And it's funny because there's some celebrity chick on TikTok that had a baby like 3 minutes after the Queen died.
Did they call her the baby Elizabeth?
And they did. They named the baby Elizabeth, and they said that was a reincarnation of Queen Elizabeth. So they had memes going. I don't know if I can show you out here, but they had memes of showing souls going into a baby's body or just shit like that. It was a whole thing on Twitter for an hour of people just doing all these random memes about it, and that was funny.
Yeah.
If one thing came good about the Queen dying, all the memes.
All the memes out of it.
Twitter just knows how to fucking turn anything into a good. Do you know who XXXTentacion is, the rapper?
Yeah.
Do you know because when people die, they put half his face and then half of whoever's face that died. You know
Half
what I'm
whose
talking
face?
about? Say when Harambe died. Or let's say
Okay.
they were putting half of XXXTentacion's face because he had already passed, and then half Harambe face.
That's a little
because they
problematic.
both had died.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a little.
We didn't say it.
Yeah.
But you guys put two and two together.
Whoever put that together should be fired.
Yeah. But that's how a lot of people. That's how you find out a lot of people die nowadays on Twitter, is because that's for some reason people keep putting whoever dies half of their face next to XXXTentacion's face.
Oh, okay.
In heaven or some shit. It's weird, but that's how I found out the Queen died. Because they put his face and then half her face. And I was like, what the fuck? And I looked on the other, then she said, rest in peace, Queen, da da da.
Damn.
And I was like, oh shit. As I was saying, is Twitter's it's the quickest news.
Damn, she got gunned down too?
Yeah, she got gunned down in Florida. Another rapper just got gunned down yesterday.
I saw that, but he didn't die though, right?
Oh, he did.
Oh, he died?
He died in the hospital.
Oh, damn, dude.
PBN Rock, I believe.
Yeah.
Rest in peace. R.I.P. PBN Rock. Yeah, that's crazy. He got shot in a Roscoe's Chicken and Waffles. What a terrible place to get shot at.
Damn, dude.
Right? Out of eating the thing he loves the most, huh?
They were trying to rob him.
Yeah. They took him for his watch and his ring.
Damn, dude.
And it's crazy because now, with a lot of people dying, it's funny.
What was his thing? What was his hit?
Oh, I don't know. I couldn't tell you. A lot of these rappers, I couldn't tell you anymore. A lot of these people that 'cause I listen to a lot of older rap.
Yeah.
I'm all I
don't keep up with it, but
No.
I know of them because they're just in the Twitter, Instagram, all that stuff.
Yeah.
But I couldn't name any of their fucking hits.
Oh no, me either. My brother can. My little brother, not Nicky.
Yeah.
I have a younger brother who's 20, and he's all into that shit. He was crying on his Instagram yesterday on his
Really?
story. I can't believe PNB Rock, bro. The fuck you same thing. It's I hate when celebrities die and people all of a sudden just oh, he was my best friend and I loved him so much. No, you didn't know him.
There's no celebrity that gets you like that?
I always think about that, and I don't know.
Or that has happened yet? Like anybody that's passed?
Oh, that's happened yet? No.
No?
And you know what? I love sports so much. I would want to say if Sammy Sosa dies, that would hurt, but I don't think I'd cry. I don't think I'd cry for Michael Jordan. I love Michael Jordan.
Yeah.
But I don't think at the end of the day, I think if he died, I wouldn't cry.
It'd be shocking, but it wouldn't be
Depends how he dies. It depends how he dies. Because when Kobe died, I was like, holy shit.
Yeah,
that was crazy.
That was crazy.
And nobody saw that coming. You know what I'm saying? But same thing, if Michael Jordan flipped his Ferrari, I'm not going to feel bad for you for flipping your Ferrari.
Yeah,
so that's your
dude.
fault.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's what I'm saying. I don't think there's really, not yet at least, that I've seen that actually made me fuck, I'm gonna
But
fucking know.
you've never got the news and then go to Twitter, Instagram, and say R.I.P. The real one.
You know what? The only one I ever did that to is when the mom from Everybody Loves Raymond died.
Oh,
Doris,
damn, yeah.
Doris something. I forgot her last
From
name.
Grandma's Boy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love Everybody Loves Raymond. That's one of my favorite shows of all time.
Yeah.
I actually have her tattooed right here. This is her initials in the show, Marie Barone.
Oh wow.
Yeah. I love that show so much. And
Damn,
she's
you
one of,
really love that show.
yeah, she's one of my favorite characters. It's funny because I was gonna get the dad's initials over here on a half-bitten sandwich, but it's like chill. Like that's too far. I was like, all right, I'll chill. But do Marie Barone, yeah, she's always my favorite. So I always loved her so much. And so that's, I think on Twitter, that's the only time I went to Twitter. Like,
So the passing of a fake character, you will like give a tribute tattoo for.
Yeah.
But you're like everybody that's sad about this real person.
the Queen, get over it. Marie Barone's dead.
Yeah, dude. Not even Marie Barone. It's like what was her name?
What was her name? Her name in real life?
Doris.
Doris. I forgot her last name. Doris something. It sucks. It's killing me now. I don't remember it.
Yeah.
But I love that show so much. That shit. I still rewatch it like all the time. I just love the way it's so well written.
Yeah.
And then her character is just so goddamn funny in that
Her
show.
character was really good because like she was like a bad guy, quote unquote, but like she was very good at that character.
For sure.
I have family members that do remind me of that character. Like they kind of like like backhanded,
Compliments.
Yeah.
The guilt trips and stuff
the
like
guilt
that.
trips and all that stuff, but then they still play the victim. I mean, she was just very good at that character. It was a great show.
It was a great show. She's so damn funny in it. And that's why. And then same thing in Grandma's Boy. I loved her in Grandma's Boy. I think that's the only thing I've ever seen her in. But those two things.
Yeah.
But when she died, same thing. I was like, damn, that sucks. Like I didn't like, oh my god. But I put a picture up on her and I was like, hey, rest in peace to my second mom or something like that.
Yeah.
Because I was same thing. We would watch her during the summertime. They would have reruns of it on TBS. So we would just watch reruns.
It's always on.
Yeah.
It's always on.
Not on Peacock. It's always on my house, too. Like, if I had nothing else to watch, I'm like, fuck it. I'll just restart Everybody Loves Raymond. That or King of the Hill. Those are the two shows that I could just sit there and restart and watch.
Yeah, King of Hill's pretty good.
Yeah.
So you don't like that about the world or the people. What's something you don't like about yourself? What's some of your fear, anxieties? Lazy?
I'm lazy as fuck. I hate it.
Yeah.
I hate it because it's not even just lazy in the sense of like going and doing exercise and shit like that, but it's even in the sense of like writing. Like there's times where I'm like, okay, I'm gonna get up, I'm gonna finish this joke that I've been working on for a fucking month, and then 2 minutes later I'm in my bed like taking a nap. And I don't know why I can't get it out of myself, but that's the same thing whenever I stopped doing comedy the first time. Was that same shit of like, all right, I'll go sign up at LOL, but I'm going to go home, I'll smoke a bowl, I'll take a shower, play a game of Madden, and then I'll go back. And by the time I'm doing all that, it's like 10:30.
Yeah.
And the show's been over.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or same thing is just like, I don't feel like going anymore. Like, fuck it, who cares? Now I thank God that I have Nikki where he holds me more accountable to go to this stuff.
Okay.
Which is good because I need that for sure. But also, same thing is like when it comes to writing and stuff like that, I feel like, okay, I'm going to sit down and I'm going to do this right now and I got this. And then 2 minutes later, I'm playing Madden.
Yeah.
And I completely forget about it. Or I just don't even do it. And then I get to it like tonight and I'll be like, fuck, like, all right, I guess I got to do the same old shit that I've been doing because I don't know anything else to run, like to go up there and say.
Yeah.
And that shit sucks. It fucking sucks. But it's like, and I try to get out of it and I just can't. I don't know how does it shake out of that kind of like, I don't want to call it writer's block because I have ideas. I just never pursue them.
Yeah, you just don't flesh them out. You don't.
Yeah, I never sit, or even like I want to sit there, like I'll say, okay, I'm going to sit here in the living room and take the time to do it. And then I'll sit in my living room and then I can't think because like it's this thing of like when you want to make something funny, it's hard to make it funny because it's like it's just sitting there thinking about it over and over again. It's just kind of like meh. So then I'm like, okay, well, let me look at Twitter for a little bit, turn my mind off a bit. Next thing I'm on Twitter for an hour. Oh, okay, well, let me play a game of Madden, kind of like maybe I'll just think about it, while I'm playing and something will come and I'll stop and I'll write it down. Never comes. I finish a whole season.
Yeah.
And I just like, all right, Nikki's home. Well, let's go to open mic. Let's go to dojo. Let's go to this. And,
Yeah.
And just never, and it just never happens. And then I was like, okay, I'll leave and I go to the park and go just sit on a park bench. So there's no distractions. Like I can't do anything else. And then I'll just sit there. I'll get there and it's like, fuck, it's hot, bro. Like shit like that.
It's too hot to write.
Yeah, it's shit like that. I'm like, fuck, it's too hot. Those ducks are too noisy. There's a cop over there. Like all this shit that just kind of takes me out of it.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, all right, fuck, I'll get out of there. I'm going home. I'll think about it at home. Then I'll get home. I'll play Madden. And it's just it's a vicious cycle that I just can't get myself out of. And but then when I do write, when I do write, I feel like, okay, cool, I can do this. Like, why am I stopping myself from doing this?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But it's just the laziness of it all. And it sucks because that's what's going to stop me, if anything. It's just me being lazy about wanting to write and wanting to do all my shit like that. which I shouldn't, obviously, but
Now, when you say write, do you usually write like everything out, like pen to paper, write word for word everything you want to say on stage, or do you do bullet points, or like what's writing to you?
writing pretty much all of it out.
All of it? Mm-hmm. Dang, dude.
Just because, like, I've tried to riff a couple times on stage. It goes okay, but I feel like, especially because it's the same thing when I write, it's like I have too many ideas at once.
Yeah.
And I want to just start spitting them all out.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, oh, this is funny. So let me say this, but that doesn't go with this. So let me say this. And then, and just kind of start spitting it and rambling, and it loses the crowd.
Yeah.
I look like a fucking idiot. So that's why I realized, like, I can't go up there and just try to riff. I have to have what I'm going to say, and then I'll say it word for word. I'll even rehearse it in the shower for a couple times, and then I'll go in there, do it on stage. Okay, this was pretty good. This didn't work. Let me try to take this out and write it this way, and go from there. And then kind of, yeah, so I it's hard for me to do. Nikki does the bullet points thing. I can't. I don't know. I've tried. I can't. It's just tough for me to stay concentrated on stage to riff. You know what I mean?
Like when I started, I would like write everything out, like line for line, word for word, every single thing that I was gonna say. I would do that, and then it like I would take that to stage, but it would be so like rehearsed, like very like to the word, to everything I wrote down. And that could be laziness too, but like I feel like I'm more productive when I just do bullet points and then work it out on stage.
Yeah.
You know, so I mean I have like tons of ideas, but it's not all fleshed out. It's just like blah blah blah. You know, like hurt myself playing Wii. You know, and then I'll just like I'll
That
just
Wii
go.
Tired shit was funny.
Yeah.
Me and Freddie, I think, were the only ones that left our ass off on that one.
Yeah, it's so stupid.
I thought it was good.
I hate writing jokes like that, but at the same time, it's fun.
It's fun.
It's silly.
Yeah.
You know, but you can't do like silly jokes and like they'll go like turn around like, oh, okay, let's talk about something serious.
Talk about AIDS.
Yeah, dude. But yeah, so like that makes me less lazy. I feel like I'm more productive. I do more writing when I just do bullet points. I was like, okay, well, I'll just touch on this. I know what I want to talk about, but I don't like write it out. So yeah, maybe like try something else. Like just have like a bunch of like bullet points ideas, or like because like if you see, it seems like. If that's your way of writing, to write everything out, no wonder you don't want to do it, because it seems like such a like.
That's true. Like a hassle.
It's like it seems like such a hassle.
It does.
You know.
Yeah, and that's the same thing. That's what I find my problem too. Is like I don't know how to start it. So it's like if I can't if I can't start it, then I'm like, well, if I can't figure this sentence out, well, then how am I gonna get to this and stuff like that? And I try to work backwards sometimes, but even that just I don't know. It seems weird because like I'm working on a bit right now where we're talking about like bro time, like. Dudes need bro time, you know what I mean? Like to hang up with boys because they need to get a lot of their shit out, like that they can't do with their girlfriends or just even around women in general. And like I have a buddy of mine, his name is Anthony, and he's an older cat. I've always hung out with older people. I don't know why. It's just as immature as I am, I'm an older soul.
Yeah.
And I've always hung out with older people.
Are you the oldest sibling?
Second oldest.
Second oldest.
Second oldest. My older brother's 33. I'm 30. Nikki 27. And then I have a 20-year-old and a 15-year-old brother, and then a little sister who's 13.
Oh wow.
She's 14. I'm sorry, she's about to turn 15. And it's funny because we found out one of her friends are pregnant at 14.
Oh,
and she got mad at us because we kept calling her a whore. She goes, "God,
Well.
she's not a whore." I'm like, "She's a fucking whore."
Yeah.
And I was like, FaceTime her. I'll call her a whore to her face right now.
I'm scarred up 14-year-old for life.
Yeah, she's scarred for life by
She
having
scarred
a child.
herself.
She's fucked already. That's not my fault. I'm just I'm calling a square a square, a circle a circle. You know,
Yeah,
a whore a whore. But so like I have a buddy of mine, and same thing. I don't know how this would translate really on stage, but I have a buddy of mine. He's one of the like most unintentionally funniest guys I know. Like he just does like when we go to his house. Like I'll go to his house to watch TV, sometimes just hang out and smoke, and he'll get drunk and like spoil everything for me. Like we're watching this show called not the movie The Kingsman or some King of something, whatever. And he was like drunk and he's like standing in front of the TV. He's like, "Dude, look. This dude's about to shoot this guy."
Oh,
and then his wife's like, "Anthony, don't tell him." And he's like, "Oh, yeah. No, but watch though, for real. Like, it's so cool, like shit like that." But so I was like, I want to like work backwards from that into like, because also like, same thing as the whole point of the biz, like, well, dads need this bro time more than anybody because dads are always hanging out with kids or their wife. Like, they need the opportunity to be gay. Or you know, just talk about pussy, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Whatever, shit like that. So I'm trying to like work backwards from all that, from that to like how it's cool to like that we're gay with our buddies, but don't ever be like super like really gay, or it's weird to be gay with a really gay person.
Yeah.
Because it's like it just feels awkward when you're telling a gay dude to suck your dick and he's like, "All right," like, you know what I mean?
I waited my whole life for you.
Yeah. Finally, you know what I mean? And same thing is like I have all these fucking ideas. It's just tough to like into any kind of type 5 or any kind of like
Yeah.
a bit or chunk or whatever.
Have you talked about that on stage? The whole like you need time to be gay with your boys.
I did it once at the Tiger, and it went well. I just think it was a good crowd though. Like I want to give myself credit when it's due, but I think that was just a really hot crowd and they were laughing at everything.
Damn, dude. Like, yeah. So, like, yeah, I was just riffing. Like on the last pod that I did, I told Scott that him and his brother kind of gay.
Yeah.
You know, because they hang out a lot. They do like they talk about like crossing swords and all this shit. I was like, dude, that's kind of
That's gay as hell. That's gay as hell.
You know.
Yeah.
Well, but it's my brother. Like, yeah, but it's still
That's
kind of
gay. Yeah, now it's just incest.
Yeah, dude.
Now it's just illegal.
But I wonder if I got that idea from hearing you do that at the Tiger. I hate when that shit happens. Like, anytime
Parallel thinking.
yeah, anytime I have an idea like that Wii Sports retired, I can't be the first one to come up with that.
I haven't heard it. To be fair, I haven't heard it, but it does, like you said, it does sound like something that you would have, especially because the Wii came out in 2011.
Yeah.
So it's like, or before that even, probably 2009. So
Yeah. So do you ever think of that? Like, oh, this joke's so funny. No way did I come up with it myself.
Well, so most of my material too is a lot of stories of stuff that that's happened in my life.
Yeah.
So I feel like I can, even if it's something that's been told before, it's more of I'm telling it in my way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's not like I don't feel like I'm ever stealing from anybody, or like I feel like if I take a specific line, then maybe.
Yeah.
Because I remember, I don't even want to admit this now, but I did this, so that duck show I did, this is a bit I did, and I haven't done it since because the line was stolen. Because, okay, so I had maybe 5 minutes, actual 5 minutes of material whenever he asked me to headline it for Tinkles. Can you do 20?
Wait, you had 5 minutes and you're doing a headlining spot?
Yeah, well, Duck's only gave it to me.
How long was your headlining spot?
20 minutes. And
well, you're just closing out the show.
Well, yeah, sorry.
Okay,
yes,
okay,
yes,
okay.
Not 45 minutes.
Yeah,
close out
because
the show. They close out the show.
Yeah, when you said headline, I was like,
post
man,
it.
you did an hour?
Oh,
Shit.
God, no, not yet.
45 minutes or
No.
something? Okay.
No, 20 minutes. I did 20 minutes.
Which is still good. you
Yeah,
know.
well, yeah. So I fucking wrote my ass off for those because I had like a month. So for that month, I just fucking wrote just random shit that I thought was just honestly more than anything to fill time.
Yeah.
And then I don't think like maybe more than half of it's even worth anything anymore, or like even worth repeating or bringing back to it. But I had this one joke that I did that night. I haven't done it since, but it's about how how like I'm afraid of black dick. Like, is it racist that I'm afraid of black dick? And it was this whole thing about how like back in the day, like in the Roman times, that they used to make the penises on the statue smaller on purpose because they would make the on the black people in the paintings, they would make their dicks big because it would make them look dumber. Like supposedly having a big dick was bad or like it make you look stupid.
Yeah.
It was supposed to be, what was the word? A measurement of intelligence.
Uh-huh.
So that's why I tell people like, well, I don't have a dick. I don't have a small dick. I'm just a genius.
I don't have a dick.
I don't have a small dick. I'm just a genius. You know what I mean? So I used to call him my genius penis. And so there's this line at the end that I used, and I haven't used it since. It was a line from a Kanye on his first album. There's this skit he does on his first album where he's talking about like these he's getting degrees and shit like that. But the last line is he goes, "Is that sexy? No." He goes, "But I bet I can count the change in your purse really fast." So I used that last line where I talk about like, "Am I gonna make you come? No, but I bet I can count the change in your purse really quick." But I ever since and like I stole that line, and I was like, I never want to use that joke again because I did that. And that's a whole like pulling from a D. Ray Davis piece on a Kanye album for it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's tough, dude. Especially like locally, I don't think people get caught out on not joke theft, but like using somebody else's line. Which I think we should have more of that because like I've done it before. I've said a Louis C.K. line, not on purpose. You know, like I did it was something about like, oh yeah, me and the wife been married for 7 years, so we're almost done.
Oh, okay.
Which apparently is a
Louis C.K. line.
Yeah. But I've never. Somebody called me out on it, and they said exactly where it's from, how.
Yeah, it's on one of his last specials, or one of his earlier specials. Yeah.
Yeah, so I appreciate that, but I mean, we don't really have that anymore. So I'm always like nervous, like, oh shit, is this line, is anything that I'm coming up with, has that been said?
Been taken already.
And would anybody even tell me that?
That's true.
So, but you knew it yourself that you picked. It up
I
from
ripped that one, and it's funny because I didn't tell that joke until that night, and then I never forget seeing Nicky's face because he was on the side of the bar, and I said it, and he went like. like that, like, because he's like, what the fuck? And then afterwards, he goes,
Yeah.
was that did you rip that from Kanye West?
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, I did. I said, I had no ending to that joke. I was like, that's the only thing I could figure out to end it. And I thought it was, I mean, it's a perfect ending for it, but same thing, it's like, it's not my line, so
Yeah.
I don't want to. And I like the concept of it, of having, like, you know, being a smaller dick is just more, see, because I'm smart, I'm not, you know, whatever. But I haven't brought it back. And same thing is, like, I'm talking about, but like black dicks is like, oh, you know, everybody talks about black dicks nowadays,
Yeah.
so I just haven't really bothered to bring that bit back. But yeah, that's it. But other than that, I don't think I've ever really like ripped anything off of. I hope not, at least.
I mean, truth be told, if it's a bar show, like I might like use that line again.
Yeah.
You know, because although I don't agree with it, I know that some club owners, past, present, whatever, they are fine with people using other people's jokes as long as their customers that are paying drinks currently are having a good time. You know, so sometimes like I'll if the bar show's not going too well, I'll use that Louis C.K. bit because, you know, whatever, it's a throwaway joke, you know, whatever. But for the most part, I try to like be as original as possible. I'm hoping that somebody would call me on my bullshit if I am saying a joke that just subconsciously got in, you know, into my head. That's why I try not to. I don't watch current specials.
Yeah, same for that.
You know.
Same here. I'll keep an eye. Like, I'll listen to some stuff. Like, especially like Bill Burr. I love Bill Burr. So, like his special at Red Rocks, I watched.
Yeah.
The same thing is like I watch him more too. Also, because I do want to get more. I don't want to say ranty, but more because I do get like upset, like pissed off at a lot of things.
Yeah.
But it's tough for me to translate that on stage without me looking like a piece of shit.
Yeah.
Like an asshole, because I seem more serious than silly when I'm doing it. You know what I mean? And people think like, damn, this dude really hates Powerpuff Girls, like shit like that.
Yeah, and it's so hard to do it now, so early on, because like if Bill Burr goes on a rant, they're just listening to Bill Burr.
Yeah.
You know, he has a name already. Same thing with Chappelle. He's not laugh per minute a comic anymore, but he is like a deep thinker, and like he'll take you somewhere, but it's gonna take a while.
Yeah.
And like people will ride it out with him more than they would with you because they don't know who you are. You don't have that name to it
And I only
yet.
have 4 minutes to get it out too. For the
And
most
you
part.
only, yeah. So it's kind of hard to be of that, like, you know, rant level, even though that's the kind of like comedy that you want to do or whatever, because you don't have that name to it.
Yeah.
And you need to be set up punch.
Especially because, like you said, a lot of times too is like people need to get to know who we are, and we don't have that time, that luxury, especially like same thing. We're just open mics, you know, or even when I do get a 10-minute show, like I could do 5 minutes of myself and then 5 minutes of talking shit about whatever.
Yeah.
But still, it's tough to like come off like I'm not yelling at you.
Yeah.
Like I'm not yelling at you, but like I'm trying to like, right, guys, like we hate these motherfuckers too.
You ever have a good set and then you get off stage and like you're like feeling that adrenaline, like and then you start going down the list of shit that you forgot to say, like, oh, I forgot that tag. I should have said this joke, or this joke would have worked, or, you know, there's a gay couple in the audience, I could have used that joke, blah blah blah.
So with me writing, like with me, the way I do it, same thing, especially like knowing exactly what I'm gonna say. That rarely happens because I know, like I'm always here, boom, like all right, beat, laugh, beat. You know what I mean? And so then, I know pretty much what I have to say. When it's the first or second time, like I'm doing the bit, that happens. Like I'll forget, like fuck, I forgot this line, or I forgot this. But usually it doesn't go well. But then once I start getting more comfortable into that joke, and then I'll start remembering everything I have to say and being able to do the beats for it.
Yeah.
It usually works out pretty well. And it's hard like for me to forget, because if I forget one line, it throws the whole shit off.
Yeah. No, that's cool. Are you like a 5-year plan, 10-year plan? Do you plan out the future, what you want to do, what you want to accomplish?
Not really.
Nah.
Not necessarily. I mean, like I want, I don't know, because I want to do this, any kind of comedy as a job, like as either a writer or stand up or whatever. I just don't want to work anymore. I hate my job. I hate my job more than anything in the world. And they know it too, which is funny because I'm at work and I'm like, I fucking hate this place. I tell them all the time. I tell the girls, like, because I work with a bunch of girls, like, because I know how sensitive they are. I always tell them, I love y'all. I love coming here. I was like, but I fucking hate this job and I want to kill myself every day.
Yeah.
But what do you call it? So that's one thing is I just want to stop working 9 to 5. I want to do something in comedy with my life.
Yeah.
Something in comedy. But I've always wanted to do stand up. Like that's always been the goal as a kid. since I was 12, I remember watching George Lopez, "Why You Crying,"
Yeah.
and just watching it. And I think that was filmed here in San Antonio. I think that was at the AT&T Center.
Maybe.
And I remember watching it and just seeing, I was like, I can do that.
Yeah.
I can do it. Like, I know I can do it. And that's just kind of been something that's been in my head forever. Like, ultimately, and I know Nikki tells me I'm crazy, and I know he's probably going to tell me I'm fucking crazy too. But ultimately, what I want to do is I want to sell out Soldier Field. Where the Bears play.
Damn.
Yeah, I mean, whether they can have it or not, I don't give a shit. I want to do it. Suck my dick, Daniel.
That's a huge fucking take.
I know, but I want to do it, and I think I can do it. That's the crazy part.
Yeah.
That's the insane part to me is I know I could probably do it. If I
Damn,
really
dude.
wanted to fucking get into this shit, I could really do it.
Yeah.
And I love it. That's the dream, bros. I want to sell out Soldier Field in 30 years, in 20 years, or 40 years. I know I could do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know that's just the ultimate goal for me.
No, that's great, man. I mean, it's
Suck my ass, Daniel.
it's
You're
tough.
not invited to my Soldier Field show anymore, asshole.
You can't get a guest spot.
yeah, you're done. You can't even get 4 minutes.
Nah, man. Shit, I had something I was gonna ask you. Anything you want to mention before we wrap up?
Not just PMC. Put a minute of the comedy in this bitch, taking over little by little.
Yeah.
Yeah, just in the pod, Rosales Radio. Just keep it honest, because I mean, we're with all these. This month especially was huge with opportunities. You know what I mean? Of doing a lot of like really good shows.
Yeah.
Like Revolver. I have Revolver tomorrow.
Oh, okay.
What do you call it? What did I do before? Oh, the homegrown we did in the main stage, like shit like that. We're getting a chance to do Feed the Funny, which is awesome. Like I've never really seen a lot of people take that over for him, which is dope. So I mean, just like little opportunities. I think as long as we just keep taking advantage of these opportunities and getting ourselves bigger, just keep it honest. We could do something here.
Yeah.
We have I think we have the comedians for it. I think we're really funny. I mean, hopefully that'd be cool. One day we can even try to take this shit on the road. I mean, this is all just dreams and far-fetched shit, but yeah, dude, we're not. You're not invited anymore, Daniel. And you're on PMC, asshole. You don't see the vision. But no, that's about it. Just keep an eye out for us. PMC at PMC_85 on Instagram too. I forgot about that. I don't really post on that one. Just follow Fat Jump, man. Just Fat Jump.
Fat Jump, man.
Fat Jump, man. That's all it is.
Cool, man. Thanks for coming on. This was
thanks for
fucking
having us,
fun, dude. Twitter, Instagram, at your homie Pat, babacoolcore.com, and check you next time.
Peace, guys.
Laters.